Hello friends, this is Zooc and today I'm going to be drawing Big Daddy. And there goes my camera. It appears my scotch tape improvisation didn't quite work out this time. In any case, I'm back in action and as I was saying, I'm going to be drawing a Big Daddy. And by that I don't mean a black pimp. So don't you think it's stupid stuff, kids. What I'm talking about is the character from the Bioshock series of games, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. I've always liked the character. I found it fascinating. I found it sort of enigmatic in its nature, if you want to use that adjective. Simply because it's freaking weird. Yeah, it's a weird character, but I like the idea that the developers had with it. What Big Daddy is basically a bodyguard. Sure, that might be usual enough, but in this particular case, there are a few cool things about it, or sort of disgusting, if you want to. Yeah, I think that's probably a better term for it. But this is what I thought when I thought of drawing Big Daddy. It was a very good opportunity for me to try out a couple of different techniques that I sort of came up with while sitting on the toilet. No, I'm kidding. This is the deal, right? Big Daddies, they're very big. Ha ha ha. No. Their armors are very dark. Their armors are made of metal and fabric. And they're very, very dark. And by that I don't mean emo and mysterious. I just mean color-wise. They don't have a lot of light materials on them. So it's sort of a challenge when you have to draw something that is dark all around in pencil, because you don't have the luxury of color. Therefore, separation of various elements can be sort of challenging. So what I did was as follows. The armor, it being very rusty and very grungy and very peeled and very, nasty and all that, I took a piece of sandpaper and I put it under my drawing paper. Fucking smart, right? So all the little bits and pieces that were sticking out, they gave a very irregular and very cool texture to it. And what I did for the fabric part of the armor, I had this little blue bag that is also very heavily textured, and which I keep a kit for cleaning my monitors. So what it has is basically a crosshatch texture. So I took that and used it the same way I use the sandpaper. Just apply one layer of shading over it, and the pattern will transfer to your drawing paper. And then you can just shade in areas that are darkened, because as you well know, when a pattern is on a warped surface, like a round surface, it's obviously gonna warp when the surface curves. So that's something that can be a problem when you use a flat texture on an image that's supposed to be 3D. But if you cover the shaded areas with pure black, then there's really no issue, because it will just get lost. Like you can see there on the foot, what I'm gonna do is just blacken everything that's not highlighted. And then you can't really notice that the pattern is straight. So that's good. It's very useful and smart to make use of the materials you have at hand for just to save time, if anything. Because sure, you can achieve all these textures by hand, but it takes freaking 3 years, literally. And as much as I like drawing, I don't want to sit there for 8 hours drawing a leg just because I'm too proud to use something that I have at my disposal. That's just dumb, so don't do that. But yeah, there are a lot of things that you can use, from a piece of wood to even like very textured toilet paper or whatever. There's a lot of stuff. A towel can probably give a very interesting texture if you put it under your paper. So just a lot of stuff. Now back to the info about the character, which is the best part of my video. Actually, no. Well, it might be. The Big Daddy, he was created as part of a program called the Protector Program. And Big Daddy is actually not the name, not the official name for the character. The official name is Protector. Go figure. But yeah, Big Daddy is basically just a nickname, and it just sounds cooler. So the Protector Program, it was initiated by Dr. Yi Su-chong, or Su-chong in Bioshock. In Rapture, not Bioshock, but in Rapture in Bioshock. You know what I mean. And the motivation for that was the fact that little sisters did not have any sort of protection when they were out gathering Adam. And as we all know, Adam is a very valued resource in the world of Bioshock. So obviously there was the need for some sort of protection. So Dr. Yi thought of the following thing. Why don't we take a bunch of prisoners, right? Or like criminals, brainwash them, and stick him in these diver suits and just make them like zombies or robots. And he presented the idea to Andrew Ryan, and he got the go-ahead. Dr. Yi was eventually killed by a pissed-off prototype. I would be pretty pissed off too if I woke up in a diver suit, stuck in a diver suit. And the project was taken over by Dr. Gilbert Alexander, who eventually succeeded in completing it. But the Big Daddy, this is what it is, right? So they take this guy and they give him a voice box implant. I don't know why, really, because it would make things much easier if they could communicate through words. But they don't. They communicate through these wailing sounds that you're probably familiar with if you've played the game. They make these really weird sounds. So they give them a voice box implant, and then they flay them. They remove all their skin. And then they graft their flesh to the diver suit. So they are stuck in the diver suit forever. They can't live without it or anything. Then they're brainwashed. They're apparently dipped in this vat of liquid, which eliminates all free will and any sort of initiative or anything from them. So they turn them into zombies. And then they give them this pheromone treatment that bonds them to little sisters. Now here's the thing. Initially, Big Daddy was actually Big Brother. That's what it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be called. But probably because Big Brother is such an overused term, and when you say Big Brother, you think of the TV show. They probably thought, and this was a good decision, to not go with that name, and instead they changed it to Big Daddy. But they left the little sister alone because it was supposed to be little sister, Big Brother. But yeah, little sister sounds kind of cool. At least there's like no direct relationship. But yeah, with the pheromone treatment, they are bound to their little sister, so they just follow them around and protect them. And one cool thing is that the helms have, the lights on their helms come in 3 different colors, or just change colors according to their mood. For example, green means they're passive and they're friendly. Yellow means they're alert, and red means really, really pissed. So yeah, that's about it for the Big Daddy. There's really not much else to say. I find it a very cool character, and despite its simplicity, it's sort of complex at the same time. But I hope you enjoyed it, and please visit my channel, subscribe. I have a lot of other videos, gameplay stuff, game-related stuff. If you're watching this on TB's channel, they won't be here, so please visit. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.